The April 16th, 2024 regular meeting of Montgomery County Fiscal Court is now called to order. Please stand for the prayer and remain standing for a pledge of allegiance.
Sure. Heavenly Father, we just welcome you into this meeting. God, we ask that you would lead and guide the men and the decisions that they make today. God, that it would be a betterment to the community and Lord, that would glorify you. God, we thank you and praise you for all good things. In Jesus' name, amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the clerk call the roll?
Ralph Charles? Here. Shane Parker? Here. Daniel Carmichael?
Here. All right. Fiscal Court members have been given a copy of the minutes from the March 19th, 2024 special meeting at 10 a.m., March 19th, 2024 regular meeting, and the April 2nd, 2024 special meeting. Does anyone have any additions or deletions? If not, I would like a motion to dispense with the reading of these minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a motion for Ralph Charles, second. Second, Daniel Carmichael. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. All right. Citizen comment time. We do have Senator Elkins here. He wants to give a legislative update. And, Senator, I just want to congratulate you on your first session under your belt, and you made it.
Thank you very much. We made it. That's right. Times when I question, but yeah, just I hope you'll indulge me just a moment. I wanted to come and give you guys an update on a few of the things that we talked about during session, and some of the bills that we passed, some of the work that we did. And if you don't mind, I'll focus on Senate bills this time and allow Mr. Hill, Representative Hill, wants to come and talk about House bills. I don't want to steal his thunder. If not, I'll be glad to come back and do that as well. But a few of the bills that we took care of this year, and I'll start with some of the bills that will pass into law without the governor signing, which means he doesn't necessarily agree with, he doesn't disagree with, he's just going to let them become law. One of them that's pretty important is Senate Bill number 2, which is the bill that allows the school boards to hire school resource officers that would come from retired military, retired law enforcement, and it expands the group of people that qualify as school resource officers. I think that's a pretty important bill, and it makes it a little easier to hire those SROs. Another one is Senate Bill 20, which strengthens juvenile violent crime laws. It says if you're a 15-year-old and you commit a violent act, you're going to be tried as an adult. Rather than being to the point of I think the way it is now, you can be tried as an adult, but you're not necessarily going to be tried as an adult, where now that this law comes into place, you will be tried as an adult unless there's a reason to try you as a juvenile. Kind of reverses things. Also says you have to serve 75% of your sentence as well. Senate Bill 128 eases the child labor law bill just a little bit to allow children to participate in work activities with nonprofits. In other words, serving meals, things like that. The reason we did that was we thought it would help develop character for children a bit. You don't want them out there working 40 hours a week, but there are currently laws in place that preclude them from even being able to work for nonprofits. So that allows that to happen. Senate Bill 215 is another interesting bill, very simple, but it just says that the government can't enact laws that make our emission control standards on our vehicles more stringent than California ever has. Since California seems to be the standard for the most stringent, also says that we can never be forced to buy or sell electric vehicles. So can't have the government telling us we must sell this number of electric vehicles. Senate bills that went into law with the governor's signature, Senate Bill 1, which it's a really good bill. It encourages collaboration between public universities to pool their funding for research. So it doesn't matter if it's private, public, federal, state, or what it is. It encourages 2 or more universities to pool their resources to help them, I guess, be better funded for research. So what it was envisioned was at Morehead State University and Eastern Kentucky University pooling their funds where they have the grant programs and the pilot programs at those 2 universities, which would help them to better fund their research projects. Senate Bill 5 removed if everybody remembers, we all got those emails and phone calls last year when we said that you owned less than 5 acres, you had to have a fishing license to fish on your own property. I know I had a bunch of calls about that. Senate Bill 5 removed that requirement. You no longer have to have more than 5 acres to fish on your own property. That was a bill that cleaned that bill up from a couple of years ago. Senate Bill 17 is a bill that affects the coroners. Currently, a coroner has 5 days to do a death certificate. If it's an incomplete death certificate or one that doesn't give the cause of death, they have an X number of days to do a second death certificate. Senate Bill 5 just says the coroner can wait until all the facts are in, ballistics or whatever it may be, before he has 5 days after the facts are in to file that death certificate. So it eliminates some red tape in the coroner's office. Senate Bill 46 is a bill that I sponsored. It's a window tint bill, which says now you can put minor or minimal window tint on the windshield of a vehicle, whereas now you can't do that. Federal regulation says you can put up to 70% window tint, which means it lets 70% of the light in. Almost clear, you can't even see it. I had a 23-year veteran of the KSP approach me about that bill, so I sponsored it. The governor did sign that one into law. Senate Bill 71 is another interesting bill that says in these communities where we have these dependency centers, these people who are participating in dependency centers, whether it be by court order or voluntary, will go to these places like Pikeville, Morehead, Clark County, probably even Montgomery County as well. And then they'll decide they don't want to stay for whatever reason. They'll leave. They don't have a way home. Family won't come and get them, so now they're stuck in another community that's in. It says that the dependency center must provide transportation back to their county of origin and notifies the family and the county attorney or the judge who puts them in if it's a court order. It has to be notified that that person has checked themselves out of that facility. Senate Bill 125 expands the local government's ability to have off-highway vehicle pilot programs. That's something they tried pre-COVID, wound up during COVID. They couldn't fulfill that project or complete that project, so it allows them local governments to go back and do that if you want to. Menifee County, I think, was a county that had an interest in that. Seems like there may have been some people even in Montgomery County that had an interest in that as well. So now you can't have off-road vehicles on the road. So this will allow you in these particular projects to put off-road vehicles crossing the road or traveling less than a mile, I think it is, on these roads. Senate Bill 376, another bill of mine that became law. It was a reorganization of the Attorney General's office. Attorney General Coleman approached me about helping him to reorganize his office and change the names of several of the things that he does. Also put some of the child support collection services under his arm, which should help collect some of the more than $1 billion that's out there in uncollected child support money at the moment in the state of Kentucky. A few of the governor veto overrides that we did was Senate Bill 198, which creates a Nuclear Energy Development Authority, along with the University of Kentucky's Center for Applied Energy. So what that does is it encourages, or it says that the University of Kentucky, along with a nuclear development authority, will work together to create a set of goals and objectives. And the goals and objectives are to enhance Kentucky's economy, develop safe energy production, study economic development opportunities, protect the environment, listen to community voices, increase energy production, and prepare a future workforce for nuclear energy. It's no secret that this session we did search out or seek out all of the above approach to energy, which is coal, nuclear, solar, wind, everything we can do to create energy, we looked at. So we're going to establish this board that's going to study those things. It will create a board of 22 voting members and several non-voting members, 8 to be exact, so it's a 30-person board. Be comprised of the Director of University of Kentucky's Applied Energy, the Director, the Secretary of Energy and Environment Cabinet, Secretary of Economic Development, Chair of Public Services Commission, President of Post-Secondary Education Council, Secretary of Education and Labor, the Director of Division of Emergency Management, and a representative from 4 of the investor-owned utilities in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, a representative from each of the 3 co-ops operating in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, a representative from the Kentucky Association of Manufacturers, Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, a mayor appointed by the KLC, and a judge appointed by KCO. The governor vetoed that because there were 15 appointments on that board that he didn't get a say in. So he vetoed that bill. We overrode it. It will become law now. Senate Bill 349 places more stringent regulations on the governors appoint the Public Services Commission appointees and the decommissioning of power plants. So it gives the Senate some oversight on decommissioning these coal power plants as we continue to do at a pace that we're not keeping up with in creating other energies to replace the decommissioning. So we're kind of wrapping our arms around that just a little bit. It's a few Senate joint resolutions that went into play this year that are of particular interest. Was Senate Joint Resolution 140, which directs the Public Services Commission to make staffing and organizational changes to prepare themselves for nuclear energy permitting, siting, and construction projects, and develop rules and regulations to oversee such activities. Senate Joint Resolution 149 directs the Energy and Environment Cabinet to develop best management practices for, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce this word, but it's PFAS substances, which is a forever chemical that gets in the water. There's a big issue with the landfill in Somerset taking the wastewater from, or taking the leachate, the wastewater treatment plant in Somerset taking the leachate from the landfill in Somerset. They stopped taking their leachate, which created a real problem. But the forever chemicals that are in that water come from Teflon and other manufacturing processes. Created issues with the leachate where the way the regulations are set up actually becomes hazardous. All landfills are having problems with that. So I did a lot of work on that. The federal government has been hands off with it, so the states are having to deal with it because the wastewater treatment plants are put in particular peril managing water that you can't clean up. So we're working to fix that as well. Senate Joint Resolution 175 facilitates continued deployment of broadband services in underserved or unserved areas in Kentucky. It's something we had to do to continue to receive the federal funding that we've been getting to do so. So hopefully, and I know Montgomery County, Bath, Menifee, and Clark County are all going to benefit from that. Some items that I did of particular interest was, and I know you guys all heard me talk about the mock trial team from Montgomery County. I recognized their state championship, and they're now moving on to the national championship competition in May in Delaware. So had them on the floor, recognized them, spent the day with those youngsters. That was a particularly interesting day for me. I really enjoyed visiting with them for the day, answering questions, talking with them, just seeing what makes them tick. I learned that several of them, even though it's a mock trial team, have no aspirations to be an attorney. They love the competition, and that was interesting. Most of them really don't like politics at all. So that didn't surprise me. But they came away from the day, I think, as did I, with a bit of a different take on it. And if you don't know about the mock trial team in Montgomery County, that really is a dynasty. It is the definition of a dynasty. I think they've had 13 state championships, 1 national championship. Just incredible what they've done in a short amount of time. they continue to do so. So, looking forward to see what they do in Delaware this year. I sponsored a couple of House bills as it come through the process. One was House Bill 86, which if you're a National Guardsman and you served in the Kentucky Army National Guards and you were activated, you are eligible to be interned in one of our 5 state cemeteries. If you weren't activated, even though you took the same oath of office, you're not eligible to be interned in the 5 state cemeteries. This bill allows anybody who gave the oath of office for the Kentucky Army National Guard, and they served their first 6 years at least, and they were discharged honorably, the ability to be interned in one of our Kentucky state cemeteries. I think that was a good bill. Another bill that I carried on the Senate floor from the House was Representative Hell's bill. A few years ago, we had a statue removed from the road down to the Capitol. The governor decided he wanted to go and took it down overnight, paid the contractor almost $250,000 to do the work with no authorization whatsoever. This bill says there can be no artwork put in or taken away from the rotunda of the Capitol without oversight from the General Assembly. So no longer one person makes that decision, 138 people make it, which is, I thought, a very good bill. I was proud to carry it. Both of those are now law as far as I know. 2 constitutional amendments are going to show up on the ballot. I know you guys heard me talk about this again the other night, but we limited it to 2. That's all I think that you're going to see, and that is the Citizens Voting Act. You have to be a citizen of the Commonwealth of Kentucky to vote in an election in the Commonwealth of Kentucky if we choose to adopt that constitutional amendment. Second one is the School Choice Amendment, which will allow school choice. There have been several attempts by the General Assembly to have school choice in Kentucky. Each time it's been shot down by the Supreme Court because it's unconstitutional the way that they went about doing it. So we're going to turn it over to the people. Let the people decide, the voters decide if they want to amend the Constitution to have school choice or not. I think that's a good way to do it. People will tell us whether they want it. If they want it, fine. If they don't, drop it and move on to something else. So that's, I think, a good way of doing it. The House Bill 6 maintains the $35.34 per day per diem for the housing of state inmates. So it didn't go back to the $30 a day or whatever it was. It remained at the higher level. Still, as we all know, I know you guys do, it's not high enough yet. It needs to be closer to $44, $45 a day. I think we'll see a task force again to look at that further. We're certainly going to look at it further on state and local government committee. We're going to continue to look at it. I understand your struggles because I was in my district. I know what you're dealing with. Your budget's trying to house or trying to pay for your jail and housing of your inmates. So I'm going to continue to push to get that per diem up or find other ways for the state to pay for state inmates better than we do now. So I understand those struggles. The annexation bill, I think, was another very good piece of legislation that did things the right way. The counties didn't get everything they wanted, the cities didn't get everything they wanted, but everybody agreed it's the best that they were probably going to get. So it gives the counties some say now in cities annexation. It creates the framework for agreements between cities and counties for annexation. It isn't a perfect bill, but it's, I think, a good bill. It'll probably be tweaked as time goes on. But it's House Bill 596, and it's a bill I think that probably is worth everybody looking into. So to get into the issues I think that are probably most interesting to Montgomery County, I'll give you that if you don't mind, pass that down. Should be 4 or 5 of those packets, I don't remember. House Bill 1 gives $18 million to the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority budget to be distributed to the Gateway Area Development District to support a regional water project. And that's the water project on Cave Run that's going to help Bath County, Menifee County, and Montgomery County. It's a project that several of the judges came to visit with me about to try to get money in the budget. They started the project, as you guys probably know, pre-COVID, and after COVID came through, the cost of it increased by about $18 million, so they needed that money to finish the project. The General Assembly did put $18 million in the budget. The road plan, which is what I passed out to you guys, the first page you're looking at, I think, if I line it up, it's a hurry for that out, is House Bill 266. That should be years 2024 through 2026, and that's the biennial highway construction plan. Basically, that's money that's in the plan that should be spent in the next 2 years. That total is $25,711,000 on Montgomery County roads. So you have in front of you the various roads that are in the plan, that are funded, and the type of funds that goes with them. It's now our job, mine and yours, to make sure that we get those funds, and like we deal with District 17 here, or District 7 here, and so we need to make sure that we're getting those funds allocated properly and spent. The money is there for these projects, and we get them done. Second set of pages you're looking at is House Joint Resolution 91, which is years 26 through 2030. As you guys know, you have a 6-year road plan. 2 years, which is the biennium, the budgeted years, and then the following 4 years is House Joint Resolution 91. That's a total of $66 million to complete those projects over the next 4 years, or the total of 6 years. You're looking at over $100 million to be spent in road projects in Montgomery County. The last 2 pages you're looking at is House Joint Resolution 92, which used to be called discretionary funds. They're now called priority project funds. And Montgomery County should have $131,000 in those funds as well, which is basically for paving. Now you guys remember the discretionary funds that we used to get. That pretty much, I think, sums up everything I came here to talk to you about. It was a busy session. It was a good session. I really enjoyed the work that we did. I enjoyed being a part of it. I appreciate the honor that the people of Montgomery County and the District 28 have bestowed upon me to get to represent. It was tiring, it was grueling, but it felt well worth it as well. So we brought historic money back to this district, money that we never had brought back here before. So I was proud to get to do that. I'm an infrastructure guy. My bailiwick, I guess you would say, is my passion. State and local government is my passion. So I think I know that I appreciated the opportunity to go there and do what I did. We'll see what we can do again in the next time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, we appreciate you. Pardon? We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for allowing me to come and give you that update. And each of you, if you don't have my cell phone number, you should have. And I know the judge has it, Chris has it, they use it often. So get it, and don't ever hesitate to reach out to me if you need anything from me at all. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Oh, and if I leave early, it's because I got a T-ball game to be at 7.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
All right. We'll go on to old business. On March the 19th, 2024, the fiscal court passed the first reading of an ordinance relating to speed limits and passing zone on Old Maysville Road and Ridgecrest Drive. County Road 1321 is a county road that has 10 single-family residences. The entrance to Ridgecrest Drive is in a passing zone and increases the probability of a traffic collision. To reduce the likelihood of a collision, the speed limit on Old Maysville Road, County Road 1218, shall be 35 miles per hour unless otherwise posted, connecting the existing no passing zone to the north of Ridgecrest Drive and to the south of Ridgecrest Drive. This will create a no passing zone at the entrance of Ridgecrest Drive, County Road 1321. Do I have a motion to approve and adopt the second reading of this ordinance?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Daniel Carmichael. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Ralph Charles. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. On March the 19th, 2024, the fiscal court passed the first reading of an ordinance relating to Camargo Levee Road. The ordinance states that due to an increasing number of injury / fatality collisions on this road, the speed limit on Camargo Levee Road shall be 35 miles per hour unless otherwise posted. Do I have a motion to approve and adopt the second reading of this ordinance?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion, Shane Parker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Daniel Carmichael. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. On March the 19th, 2024, Physical Court opened bids for a road widener, and the bid was tabled due to the delivery of the skid steer delivery date, which they need to operate the road widener. On April the 1st, 2024, Mark Walters was notified that on May the 3rd, the skid steer could be delivered. Do I have a motion to accept the bid from Boyd Company for a road widener attachment in the amount of $73,852.51?
I'll make the motion.
Motion Daniel Carmichael. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Ralph Charles. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. On to new business. At the Physical Court workshop on April the 2nd, 2024, the court was on a call with Josh Farrow with Gateway Area Development District. He explained the funding request related to the Gateway Regional Child Care Economic Impact Study. The study is comprised of Bath, Menifee, Montgomery, Morgan, and Round counties. The total cost of the study is $28,245.28. The cost of each county is based on a population, and Montgomery County's share of this cost will be $4,651.09. Do I have a motion to approve the funding request from Gateway Area Development District, $4,651.09 for the Gateway Regional Child Care Economic Impact Study? A motion, Ralph Charles. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Daniel Carmichael. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. On to some board appointments. Steve Hall's term on the Montgomery County Water District Number 1 Board will expire April the 28th, 2024, and he has agreed to serve another term. Do I have a motion to reappoint Steve Hall to another 4-year term on the Water District Number 1 Board, which will expire April the 28th, 2028? Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion, Shane Parker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Daniel Carmichael. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Mike Mosby's term on the Mastro and Montgomery County Joint 911 Board will expire May the 18th, 2024, and he has agreed to serve another term. Do I have a motion to reappoint Mike Mosby to another 3-year term on the 911 Board, which will expire May the 18th, 2027? Motion, Ralph Charles. Second,
Second.
Daniel Carmichael. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Edwin Burton's term on the Board of Assessment Appeals will expire May the 15th, 2024. And Mark Ledford has agreed to serve a term on this board. Do I have a motion to appoint Mark Ledford to a 3-year term on the Board of Assessments and Appeals, which will expire May the 15th, 2027?
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion, Ralph Charles. Do I have a second?
Second.
Daniel Carmichael. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. All right. The court has been given a copy of a proclamation declaring April the 14th through April the 20th, 2024, National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Do I have a motion to declare April the 14th through April the 20th, 2024, National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week? We have a motion by Ralph Charles, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second, Daniel Carmichael, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Let's go up front and, read off the proclamation. Don't mind, come up here with us. Yep, all right. Proclamation of National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, April the 14th through the 20th, 2024. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of the information obtained from citizens who telephone the Montgomery County Emergency Communications Center. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers, our firefighters, by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information and ensuring their safety. And whereas the public safety telecommunicators at Montgomery County Emergency Communications Center have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year, therefore be it resolved that the Montgomery County Fiscal Court declares the week of April the 14th through the 20th, 2024 to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Montgomery County in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our community and citizens safe. Signed the 16th day of April, 2024. Thank you all for your service. Congratulations on 19 years, correct?
Yes, sir.
Excellent job. How many you got in now? 9 years? Wow, hard to believe. Congratulations.
21 more.
I'll make a copy of it for that this is over with, and you can take it out there. All right. Court's been given copies of the reports from various boards, agencies. The physical court has a copy of the treasurer's report, manual checks written, additional vouchers, and budget transfers. Commissioner Charles reviewed the bills for April. If there are no questions, do I have a motion to approve the reports from the county treasurer and various boards and agencies and pay the bills? Motion. Have a motion by Ralph Charles. Do I have a second? Second, Shane Parker. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. And now for our department heads. Ms. Wilson, you want to? Hey, Ms. Wilson, can you hold on just a second? Greg? It's 6:39, Greg, so.
Oh, yeah, we gotta run.
I'm sorry, Mary.
January through March that's one of starts our busy months, and April and May are also busy. We start off with we had 3 broken water mains, which I can report to, have to go confirm. We did do a missing person back in February in Morgan County. We were requested to take drones from that town. With infrared, Dallas McKinney went with me. We could find her, kids road. All is well. On weather, on February 28th, we started off with a tornado watch for the whole day. Ended up with severe thunderstorm warnings. On April 2nd, we actually went to tornado warning. Our courthouse did receive some damage. We're in the process of filing reports with the state thing now on that. We just shut the interstate down in March for an accident for a couple hours. We went to Trimble County on March 15th to do tornado damage assessments. They got hit really, really hard. Dallas went with me on that one. He's been most of it there. The big one for the quarter was we did have the warehouse collapse, and we had a ton of agencies show up to offer their assistance. Starting off with the dispatch, the sheriff's office, fire EMS, Mount Sterling Police Department, my office, the county road department, the county building inspector, the coroner, county judge was there. But then the outside agencies that were requested that actually showed up instantly was Winchester Fire Rescue 1, Langston Fire Special Operation Unit, their structural engineers showed up. The BERT, which is Bluegrass Emergency Response Team Heavy Rescue Team from Jessamine County and Versailles Fire showed up. Round County Emergency Management showed up to help us with logistics and any supplies we had to order. The State Emergency Management Director, Dustin Heiser, he actually showed up on scene, which was the first for us to have an actual director show up. Region 5, Marty Burke showed up. Doug Hargraves from EM40 was there. They all assisted in.
For the year, we have to give a breakdown of the 14 projects that we have, and we have closed 6 of those projects. So each year, we have to give them an account for what our obligations are, that we're going to meet fully obligating all of those funds, and then also what we have spent for each project based on the obligations. So I have got that completed, and you have a copy of everything that I submitted to that. I gave you a year-to-date on the budget, on the combined grant for the jail. We talked about opioid this morning, so I won't go back into all of that, but we do have some reporting that's due quarterly and on that, and for the Opioid Abatement Advisory Commission, and with each one of those entities that are in that settlement. We will be doing the second reading of our budget hopefully in May, and then the renewals of all of our insurance for our next budget meeting. You know, our all lines under CAECO, and they're around 27% on average, and that includes our auto, property, general liability, law enforcement liability, and some other miscellaneous lines. So I kind of gave you an exact breakdown. I gave you CAECO's breakdown as well, and some copies there. Workers' compensation was a 2% increase, and our employee health insurance for health and vision was an 11% average increase, and our dental was a 3% increase for next budget year.
All right.
Any questions?
Thank you. Jason? First off, congratulations on passing the test. Certified now.
And good evening, I'm Jason McCormick, the county building inspector. Notes here. Yes, January, February, and March typically slow permit business months, and they were this last quarter as well. Like January, we had 5 new housing starts. February, we had 1, and in March, we had 1. So we've had 7 new homes start in the first quarter. I think the permits equaled about almost $1,300, and the homes value were $1.5 million for the 7 homes started. This month going forward, we've almost had that many permits already. I think I'm at 5 right now, so it'll be probably easily 7 before the end of the month. But like I said, it's kind of slow, other than my other studying, which is slow, but not for me, but for the permit business, it's kind of slow this quarter.
Understood.
Anyway, I expect that it already has started picking up.
Good. Excellent. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you.
Proud of you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Sir?
We were busy, we stayed busy, we continue busy. We just finished up tax collections for this fiscal year. Turned it over to Chris Cockle's office for the county clerk. Our collection rate was 96%. We have an outstanding 540 odd bills out of the 13,600. But that's closed out. Just received our audit for tax collection for last year. Please, when you get it, there's some findings on it. That office clean audit. We served 219 civil processes last month. I don't have the call for service numbers tonight. However, they continue to go up. Our new radio system will be rolled out in the next short term. It's radio tech done today. He's done with it. We'll be getting on Gary. I want to commend Gary for something else tonight. Gary has been the whiz behind this new radio system, getting it all programmed, set up, and ready for us, from unit IDs to the auxiliary channels and everything to program. And he had some hurdles to go over, but he got every one of them, and saved the county quite a bit of money in the process. So, thank you, Gary. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Those of you out, the vehicles are out. My vehicle is fixed.
Good, good.
No more Christine moments. But other than that, the clicker ticket campaign will be starting shortly for highway safety. We are now ranked 26th in the state fatalities and serious physical injury accidents. We're going to try and work it back to 40. We'll try to get out of it. We will get it back. Any questions?
Thank you.
Y'all have a great night. Thank you for your support.
Appreciate it. Stay safe. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Senator, thank you for being here. Give us an update. Department heads, communications, hey, everything that you all do, you know, it just makes Montgomery County better. So keep doing what you all do. I'm proud of you. Keep keeping on, man. Okay, all right. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Wow.
Everybody makes a motion, everybody says.
Yes.
All right. We are adjourned.
Yes, the team training. Okay. So transportation is working. So I've heard all the stories. We appreciate you all. So thank you for your service.
Take a little break. Going, I think I owe you a phone call.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm still gonna call you hopefully tomorrow if I can get just a minute, and then I got a break scheduled for June. Good